Hi, my name is Danielle O'Neill. I am a marriage and family therapist in Cleveland, Tennessee, and I wanted to continue to talk to you about ways to deal with your anxiety. Last time we talked about how anxiety is a physiological response, which means that when you perceive something as threatening, your body responds accordingly. So it either tries to run away from the situation, hello, procrastination, or it tries to fight, which sometimes can lead to aggression or even just a little bit of yelling or panicky type responses. The problem with that is when we perceive something as threatening that really isn't threatening, and when those responses aren't helpful, like when we're trying to deal with children all day, when we can't run away from them and we can't be aggressive towards them either. So, wanted to help you with anxiety by continuing to talk about the mind and body. So, first of all, when talking about the mind, we talked about how one of the physiological responses, one of the ways that our body just naturally responds to anxiety is through our thoughts racing. They are going a million miles an hour when we are feeling anxious. And the reason for that is because if there was like a bear or a tiger coming at you, your mind would need to go a million miles an hour to quickly assess the situation and to know which way to respond. The problem is that when we take that into our now everyday context, the thoughts racing are actually distracting us from what needs to get done. So the first skill I want to teach you is stop. And it's exactly like it sounds. It means to stop. And it's an acronym. So the first letter, S, stop. Literally stop. If you can do that physically, that's great. Even if it's only mentally, that's also great. So you can just stop in your mind. Recognize that your thoughts are racing and say, stop. Don't judge or blame yourself. It's not about that. It's just about noticing it and being able to stop it. Then once you're able to notice that your thoughts are racing and you say stop in your mind, then you want to do the T, which is take a step back. So whether that's physically, just back up, or even if it's just in your mind, taking a step back, do that. One of the ways that I like to explain taking a step back is almost if you're imagining in your mind, look at yourself in your mind doing what you're doing. So say you are trying to write an email or you're trying to teach a lesson and your thoughts are just going a million miles an hour. Just for a moment, pause, take a break if you can, and just picture yourself doing what you're doing. Then you want to do the O, which is observe. Observe what's around you. You can look at things physically. You can look at the toys in the room. You can look at the board. You can look at trees outside. Whatever's around you, just observe it. And then also observe your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So it's like, okay, wow, I'm feeling anxious. My thoughts are racing right now. That's okay. My thoughts are racing because I'm thinking about COVID, or I'm thinking about one of my students, or I'm thinking about things that are going on at home. And so just observe the feeling of anxiety or overwhelm, whatever it is you're feeling, and just in your mind kind of say, oh, this is why I'm feeling this way. And then you want to proceed mindfully. So proceed with the best action moving forward. So if you are trying to write that email, it's like, okay, I'm going to stop, take a step back. I'm feeling anxious because this and this and this. And then, okay, now I'm just going to focus on this one email and I'm going to finish it. And so there you go. That is your stop skill. And I also wanted to talk about the proceed mindfully part. There's also an acronym that can help you with that part of stop, and it's called ONE. So The O stands for one mindfully. And what that means is you are just focusing on the present moment, the task at hand. A lot of times in our culture, there is this pressure to multitask and try to get a million things done at once, which is actually not really possible. When we're multitasking, our mind is shifting attention really rapidly. However, and even if it's just for that split second and then a split second it's on something else, for that split second your mind is only able to process the one task, and then it goes to the other task for 1 second and the other task. And so that is very mentally exhausting. So as much as possible, I encourage you, whenever you're engaging the task at hand, to really just stick on the one task. And then also, the N stands for non-judgmentally. And that's what I was talking about within the stop. When we're observing our thoughts and feelings, we don't want to be judgmental, like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be feeling anxious. I'm a terrible teacher. I'm failing. I'm not doing good. Those judgments are only going to increase anxiety, and nothing great is accomplished in the midst of self-criticism. Unfortunately, our culture teaches us to be pretty good at it, if you're anything like me. And so really reversing that self-criticism with self-encouragement and validation. Oh, I'm feeling anxious because of COVID. Well, that completely makes sense. I'm feeling anxious because my classroom has now been shut down for 10 days. Makes complete sense. That's validating yourself and then also encouraging yourself. I am strong. I am capable of handling this. I can reach out for help. I can rely on my other teacher in the classroom. I can talk to this friend or whatever it is that you need to do to get the support that you need. So instead of self-criticism, self-encouragement in that non-judgmentalness. Then lastly, the E stands for effectively. So we want to think about actions that are not only effective for the present moment, but will be effective long term. So when that kid is frustrating you, not only effective in the moment, getting the kid to stop, but effective long term in that not only are you stopping whatever behavior that needs to be stopped, you are also acting in an effective manner that isn't going to hurt yourself long term or hurt the child long term. So there you go. That's the mind. So you've got your stop skill and your one skill. Now I also want to talk to you about the body. So a way that we can address anxiety in the body, because it is a physiological response, is doing a body scan. And so all that means is we are just going to focus on different parts of the body from toe to head and observe the thoughts and feelings that come up non-judgmentally. So if you will, you can just join me and I'll demonstrate for you. So we're just going to start by taking a few deep breaths so that we can feel relaxed. So we're just going to breathe in, breathe out. If you want, you can even say, like, I'm letting go of stress, or you can repeat something that helps you to feel relaxed. Inhale, peace. Exhale, stress. Inhale, peace. Exhale, stress. So we're going to start with our feet. So if you will, just shift all of your mind's attention to your feet. Notice how your feet are feeling. Notice any thoughts, feelings, physical sensations. Do your feet feel light? Do they feel heavy? Is there any tingling? Is your foot asleep? Just notice how your feet are feeling. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. Remember, this is about being non-judgmental. Just bring your attention back to your feet. Now we're going to focus on the legs, especially how your thighs are touching the chair. Just notice your thighs. Do they feel light? Do they feel heavy? Are there any sensations, thoughts, feelings? Just observe. Now, notice your stomach. How does it feel? Is there any tightness? Are there any knots? Does it feel light? Can you feel anything? Are you thinking anything as you focus on your stomach? Noticing any feelings? Again, if your mind starts to wander, just focus your attention back on your stomach. Now you can do your hands. Just notice how your hands are feeling. Are they light? Are they heavy? Any thoughts or any feelings as you focus on your hands? Just continue to focus on your hands. Now let's focus on our arms. Do your arms feel light? Do they feel heavy? How do they feel? Now let's focus on our shoulders. The shoulders feel light, they feel heavy. Any thoughts, feelings, sensations that come up as you focus on your shoulders? Again, if your mind starts to wander, just refocus your attention on your shoulders. Now let's do our neck. Focus on the upper part of your neck, right between your head and your neck, right there at the base, right there on the back. Focus on it. Do you feel any tension? Is it light? Is it heavy? Do you notice any thoughts, feelings, sensations when you focus on your neck? And lastly, we want to focus on our face. You can focus on your jaw, you can focus on your cheeks, your forehead. Do you notice any thoughts, feelings, sensations as you focus on your face? Any tension? Any feelings? Any thoughts? Again, if your mind starts to wander, just focus your attention back on your face. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now when you're ready, you can open your eyes, or if you were just gazing down at the floor, you can bring your head back up whenever you're ready. And now just slowly come back into the room. Give yourself a few seconds. Notice how you're feeling after the body scan. It does take a few times of practice, just like anything, especially if this is a new skill and something that you've never practiced before. And when you are able to focus on each part of your body and just notice your thoughts, feelings, sensations without any type of judgment, there is no right or wrong. It's just about noticing, and also noticing when your mind wanders and being able to discipline your mind to refocus on that part of the body too. So mind wandering is completely normal. It's fine. It's that discipline of shifting your focus back. And when you're able to do it after a few times of practice, then you should notice that you're feeling more relaxed or more at clarity with how you're thinking and feeling, and just able to notice those sensations in the body and hopefully let them go. So there you go. Here are some skills to address your mind with the stop, take a step back, observe and proceed mindfully. And we want to proceed mindfully with the one skill, one mindfully, non-judgmentally, and effectively. And then you also have a way to address the anxiety in your body through a body scan. So look forward to speaking with you next time.